Howdy, howdy, howdy.
So, welcome to the Experiment Viennese Season 1, Episode 3, where we're going to get into definite chief aim, spiritual leaders, and if God is actually real.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't fucking
So,
care.
yeah, definite chief aim. Like, whose dream are you living? Yours or someone else's?
Yeah, when I think of, for people that might not know what like a definite chief aim, if you just look at what the words are, right? Like, someone that might not know exactly what a definite chief aim is, think of like trap shooting. Like, you're focused on that one thing, and you're going to hit the thing in the middle, the target in the middle, right? You're not focused about all these other targets or anything else. The shot is going straight to the fucking target.
Yeah, and what are you doing leading up to that?
You're preparing, making sure your gun's clean. You're focused, looking down the sights. Maybe hold your breath.
Yeah, and it's not your first time.
Right, right. But it took you a while to get to that point, right?
Yeah, discipline and consistency for sure.
So, how would you explain to someone definite chief aim?
Um,
Or what does it mean to you?
to me, it means like a vision or a goal you have in your mind that you're going to achieve. Keyword going,
Mm-hmm.
not wishing,
Right.
knowing you're going to achieve it with blind faith, belief, I forgot his name, but he said acceptance of the will or acceptance of the end wills the means.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta like we talk about all the time, like envision yourself already doing it, just like knowing it's already gonna happen, it's done. Ding ding. Like but yes, I mean that's what it means to me, but just in going off to the side here is like yeah, I'll get caught up in other dreams though, or like I'll fall out of my definite chief aim and get caught in some other ones or some other people's dreams, you
Yeah,
know?
for sure. Something we talk a lot about is your definite chief aim at all costs.
Yeah, cut everything else
Cut
out.
everything else out if it doesn't align with your definite chief aim. And
Yeah,
I made a short the other day about like how bad you actually want it. Like, do you want it or do you just kind of want it? So to me, like a definite chief aim is that's your definite chief aim. Like that is over everything,
yeah, money, women, whatever.
everything. And I've played with the idea of definite, like definite chief aim, to the point where like I've had to make some really hard choices or sacrifices that I was attached to that didn't align with my chief aim. And those are the things that like you have to cut out
Yeah,
completely, right? If it doesn't align, done. And for for people in the world, I think it can be really hard because attachment, right? Like attachment is the root of all suffering. And when you're attached to those things that like are hard to let go of, but then you got to ask yourself in those moments, like, is this aligned with my chief aim? Do I really want my chief aim that much to cut that out? Or am I going to hang on to that?
yeah, totally agree. And I was just thinking, like, Dottie always says the destination and the journey are the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought about that now because that's so true. Because, like, you were talking about doing this last year and you're already doing it now,
Yeah,
a year later.
right. This is my definite chief aim. And I'd say I looked on my YouTube channel recently, and 9 months ago, I posted 3 videos in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then there was a huge gap because I went through some shit that like I had to let go of, right? Um, but now that I've accepted it as my definite chief aim, and I'm willing to say that's my goal, that's my vision. I've been consistently making 3 shorts a day, getting on track with this
Yeah.
podcast and group. Um, and my whole life is revolved around making content, dude. I'm literally at work making shorts on my mini breaks, editing videos, watching stuff to help with my viewing and everything content related. But like to me it means that much that like those are the things that I have to do.
Yeah. Laser focused. Like I said before, discipline and consistency. Like, think about like athletes that have to train in the gym
Yeah,
and the off season just to play fucking an hour on the field.
man. That makes me think of Kobe Bryant. I've always looked up to him. But he's always talked about how he would be in the gym after the game.
Oh yeah,
Or like
or super
what other
early.
yeah, always staying late, always practicing more. Like what other athlete is going to be doing that? Right? And then like it equaled what he accomplished. 5 championships. Not many athletes can do that. And if you look at the other athletes that have, I can guarantee you it wasn't just raw talent. I can guarantee you they put in similar, if not more work than what Kobe did.
Yeah, and like hard work does pay off. I know it sounds cliche, but like how much time in your day are you dedicating to this? Like I ask people how much time in your day are you spending with God, the most important relationship in your life,
Mm-hmm.
like that's something I really need to think about sometimes.
Yeah.
But also like with you entailing videos while you're working another job, like it's starting to pay off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like part of the definite chief aim too is just like are you believing that you could get there, you know, it's just like anything else. It's so simple.
It
But
is.
some people just get knocked off track so easily.
Yeah. Yeah. No, what you said, like it really is simple. I've thought about recently, and like you used the word cliche before, because this might sound cliche too, but like fuck that, I'm just gonna say it anyways. Like we're here for a fucking reason, dude. Why would you ever want to just like at nighttime when you have or any free time during the day just fucking sit around, mope around? You're sitting there thinking about your dream. I guarantee you, it's popped in your mind at some point. Yet you've put it off again, or you've watched some fucking TV show, right? Like, at what point are you gonna make a change? At what point are you gonna fucking go after what your definite chief aim? Or
Yeah,
you're just gonna fucking fall into the fake world, the fake fucking sitting on the couch, laying in bed, not doing shit.
like how you were trying to do this with someone else and myself, and like our chief aim wasn't lining up with yours,
Mm-hmm.
so you just
Yeah.
cut
Well,
cut that out. Same with a lot of shit.
yeah. Well, because I've decided I'm gonna do content regardless, and if the people around me are aligned with that, 1,000%. I saw something from Andrew Tate today talking about how no man has ever done something with their lives or incredible alone, and he gave references to great leaders with armies or raising a family, right? Like you have a wife and like it's a joint thing. So that's definitely in my cards. And like, you're here, love you to death. And I know we still have our fucking great ass connection, and you know
Yeah, what I
we're
was gonna
doing this shit.
say now is you're talking about great leaders, like whoever we're talking about, like Tate, fucking LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, like I never seen the fear in these people, you know, like even if they have
Never,
it, they don't even talk about it or make it real because they don't doubt it even for a second. Like anything they
never,
fucking say,
never.
and that shit
You will,
gasses me right up.
man. Just watch an interview. Like, pay attention in an interview. Like, I think of Andrew Tate right away. Like, that man speaks fucking righteous, dude. Like, it's just pure. You can't break him. Anything he says, full confidence. You know, like he knows what he's talking about. Even LeBron James too. Like, they interview him after the games. Like, he just knows. No self doubt.
And I think that's something that people fall short with sometimes, including myself sometimes, which is like you want to talk about is God real? I mean, we're made in the image of God, I believe, and like I was the only one that made that fear, that tiny mad idea up in my mind real, you know, like if I didn't talk about it, you would never know, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And like that's just circling back to definite chief aim, you know, like blind faith,
Mm-hmm.
belief,
Yeah.
visioning yourself already doing what you said you would do and what you would do with like the fruit that bared from the fucking watering of the seed, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
kind of like how everything else works in this world that we live in.
Yeah. Yeah. If we segue into going back a little bit about, we were talking about Kobe Bryant, Andrew Tate,
Yeah, anyone that's
all
made
the,
it.
So if we're talking, one of our topics is spiritual leaders. Who are some people that you've, or spiritual teachers, I should say? Um, who are some people you get like some of your teachings from, or philosophy? Who are the people that you listen to on a daily?
Um, I mean the main streamers, I listen to Aaron Doughty and Joseph Rodriguez, but I'm also thinking about like Eckhart Tolle
Mm-hmm.
or the guy that wrote Think and Grow Rich or Wallace Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich.
Yeah. So you have a plethora.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you just study one and do what it says, it's all the same. Kind of just like all the religions and beliefs in the world, you know?
Yeah, right. No, it is true, and I think it's good to have, you know a variety of people for different perspectives or open mindedness or explaining it a different way. Um, but yeah, it's all connected, man. If you look at the message, right? I think of, like, when I look at definite chief aim, I think of Joseph Rodriguez picture right away, like how vision is at the top, then environment, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
all that
yeah.
stuff has to align, right? Like, that's definite chief aim right there, and like creating your vision.
And entailing manifestation, I believe, like the right thoughts, powerful thoughts, gratitude,
Yeah,
prayer,
yeah,
without denying it for a second.
yep,
Because I believe the more grateful you are for little things, then other things fall in your life. And when you pray, already believing that it's going to happen, it will happen.
hmm
And like back to manifestation, like you just keep chipping away at whatever you want to do. The stars are going to align,
yeah,
doors are going to open,
yeah.
and you'll be like, what the hell? Is God real?
One of my favorite sayings is, when you truly believe it, you see it, feel it, you know it's happened, right? But one of my favorite things is time is just waiting to catch up.
Yeah.
Because time's an illusion, anyways. But regardless, right? Like if you know it's done and it's happened, like time is just waiting to catch up. Like you're doing all the steps to make it happen, right? You believe it. You've got God with you. You see it. It's there. It's already here. Like time is just ready, waiting to catch up.
Yeah. And time takes time, but
Yeah.
sooner or later you'll get exactly what you wanted
Mm-hmm.
and dreamed of, and you'll be thinking like, damn, I wanted this, huh? Now what?
And how many times can you look back on your life and
It worked out
say,
every time.
yeah,
I just like, yeah, like whether I had
every
a
time, man.
fucking grain of faith or fucking
A mustard seed.
yeah, mustard seed of faith or fucking thimble full of water.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the last topic. If God is real, tell me about it. E-dog.
I mean, I do believe in God because it's easy to say the word God, but yeah, I do believe there's something else out there greater than us, which is a reassuring like thing,
Yeah.
knowing that like something is holding my hand 24/7. Like, did you think about breathing yet today? Maybe, maybe not. But like something's helping you breathe when you sleep. The fucking there's a ball of fire in the fucking sky that goes up and down every day.
Mm-hmm. It's almost. I mean, it's obvious to me, but if you look at it, this is something that I've said before: is if you looked at the world, your life, in a blank, like a blank board, right? Like nothing was developed. You didn't have any beliefs, morals, right? You think you'd come to a conclusion of something greater than yourself? I think I would.
Most definitely.
Like, because we were born and raised a certain way. Like everybody's had, everybody has entertained the thought of God at one point in life. That's without a doubt, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's in our makeup.
Yeah. Um, but I mean, like, for me, I can see it in my life. I can see God in my life, and whatever it is you want to call it, fine. Same fucking thing. Like, if you want to say God is the universe and it's created itself, whatever. I mean, God can get very complex if you make it complex,
Yeah.
right? Like we could sit here and talk about God or how you're made in the image of God. If all these other religions, words, spiritual teachings, right? Like, but it all leads back to the same freaking thing.
Yeah.
It all does.
Oneness.
Yeah,
We're already in unity. We just fall asleep.
yeah. That's all it is. People can get
And
argumentative on
like,
the topic,
yeah, and
and
why even like waste your time like being on the debate team,
I
like,
swear, man. You think like I don't want to get in like way off topic, but like how many fucking thousands of years people have been fighting over God
yeah, even myself just
and
wasting
religion?
years like studying different religions and different philosophies. Like,
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
we're rooted in like belief in something other than ourselves, and that's
Uh-huh.
all you really need to know. I mean, like you said, if you just look around and fucking take the blinders off, like, it's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah, yeah. You can dig real deep in it.
And that's why like people like Andrew Tate or fucking LeBron James or whoever, like, they know that power's out there and they don't doubt it for a fucking
Yeah,
second, so why should
yeah,
I?
yeah. Yep.
You're gonna be pulling up in the fucking Bugatti for making these videos, like,
I am. I know that.
and like to people who like are not like dependent on God and like aren't familiar with this stuff will look at you like you're crazy, but I mean then you can just say you told them so, like
that reminds me of one of my favorite movies regarding what you just said is The Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, we were just
Where
talking about that.
yeah,
Great.
where Will Smith is shooting basketball with his son, and his son um, just shot at the hoop, and he goes, "I don't want you out here spending too much time shooting the ball around because you're not going to be that good." Kind of just like I was.
Yeah, fear thought.
And like, look, that was put into his mind instantly, which has been told to us what you just said from someone else that doesn't believe it because they've come up with their own beliefs of how it's not possible, right? So then the kid throws the ball, his son throws the ball, and he's real sad. And then his dad goes up to the fence with him and says, "Look, nobody in this world," no, he says, "You don't let anybody tell you can or can't when it comes to your dreams.
Love that.
Not even me."
Love that.
I've incorporated that to my kids because, we want to be protective and have the best out for them and whatnot, of course. Um, but nobody can tell you what you can or can't do, especially regarding your dream. Like that's where the ultimate faith comes in, right? Like I know, I see it, I am.
Yeah, and you get in life what you feel you deserve. So like everybody deserves prosperity and abundance, and like you said, I'm just referring to like the first fear thought you were just talking about in the movie. Like, don't let the noise of others drown out your own inner
Mm-hmm.
voice. Like people like LeBron James or Patrick Mahomes or whoever, Bill fucking Gates. Like,
Yeah.
they're people just like us. They just fucking were determined, had some discipline and consistency,
Yeah.
blind faith and belief. And yeah, it takes some work. Like fucking I seen the Kanye West documentary. He tried for years and years and years and years to get signed and like blow up.
Yeah.
And it took like 10 years, but
Mm-hmm.
now look at him, billionaire
Yeah.
off a shoe,
Billionaire.
off a
And
shoe.
and you already know they ran into so many doubters
Oh yeah, even
along the
I'm
way.
sure he.
You know it. Probably including family members.
Yeah,
Like which are probably the hardest to combat, right? Um it's just, man.
miracles. Swear
Yeah.
to God, and
Yeah.
like
Expect a miracle to happen, man. Just like you say all the time.
yeah,
Expect a miracle.
yeah, and perm that into your subconscious mind. There's a lot
Permanent.
of
I've said this in a prior video. It's said in psychology that if you tell a lie 10 times to yourself, you will start believing it,
yeah, I heard that
right?
too.
And I don't want to incorporate this as a lie because like I know it to be true already, right? But I'm just giving the analogy of your imagination is all you have, right? The world is mental. It's all mental. So our imagination actually can't decipher the difference between imagination and reality. So if you can use your senses in meditation or visualization, like on a daily basis, you're feeling, seeing, touching that definite chief aim as it's real.
Yeah, and what's that story you taught me about in Think and Grow Rich with the spoon and the bowl?
Oh yeah, Albert Einstein. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a big talker about imagination.
yeah.
And now look at there's lights up right here.
Lights everywhere. Yeah, and he went through, I think it was 10,000 failure experiments.
Yep.
Think of that. Think of how 365 days in a year. Okay? How long it took him. And he was like, I'm doing it. I'm fucking doing it. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, and I mean if like some people might not know what they want to do, but like
Yeah,
pray,
that's true.
meditate on it,
Yeah.
and like it'll come right to you. like I tell you all the time, I wish I knew what I knew now, like fucking a decade
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. Well, of course, it's
But
always
like,
easy to say that.
yeah. But it would be cool, just
Journey
like,
and destination is the same, right?
yeah, it would be cool to put that out there
For sure. Yeah, we can do that.
and kind of like we were talking about before. You gotta be hungry for this shit. Like, I don't know. You need to get up and fucking grab the fucking horns and fucking go. You gotta find like the determination, the willingness,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and like there's nothing out there. It's all in here.
That. Yeah. I I think for me that came with like I won't even say I think.
You know.
I I started developing my routine, especially my meditation and my visualization.
Yeah, remember when
And
we would
I
just do
think
that?
before I had those self-doubts in me, you know? I had those voices or other people that said things that, would dissuade me, and I whether or not I like thought of it like that in the moment or not, it affected me. And now I've accepted like this is my definite chief aim. Nothing will stop me.
Exactly. I was thinking that too. Like when we first started meditating and praying years ago, like we could do it, but you still have that like little doubt in your mind,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that'll throw you off right away. And it has thrown me off. Same with like gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had to fucking rip the whole screen down and like get really deep into gratitude,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
all the time.
I'll admit, even now with how consistent I've been, there'll be days where I like
You're like, oh fuck,
I don't get as many views or like I feel like my topics aren't the best, right? Like those are small little doubts that like I need to just cut out, but I do cut them out right away because I see my definite chief aim for one. For two, I see the consistency I put in that like I'm doing it regardless. Right? Like no matter what's in my way, I'm fucking going.
Yeah, and there's gonna be like fucking rocks and hiccups along the way, but like
Yeah.
keep your nose on the grindstone and fucking go. I mean, that's just life in general. What I realized,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah.
and I'm the only one making it a fucking issue when
Yeah.
really there's no issue.
Right. Yeah. We're good at that as human beings.
Yeah, and like we've talked about this before too, like a negative pendulum swing, like positive visualization will extinguish that. And I mean, I use this from like my like personal fucking mental health and spirituality. Like, yeah, I had these character defects, but like these character defects brought me closer to God,
For
like,
sure.
and I don't think that's a bad thing at
Mm-hmm.
all.
Yeah. Huge point that I've been wanting to bring up too. What you just said about bringing you closer to God because of those character defects is the in the times, I feel like a lot of people will go to God in times of need, right? Or times that they're suffering or struggling or
Foxhole prayers.
right. Yeah. And of course, what do you know? God's gonna fucking be there for you, right?
Always
But
was.
are you gonna continue to go to him when everything is fucking golden? Right? Those are the important times. God wants you there all the time. He
Yeah.
will be there for you all the time. But are you gonna come to him when everything's good when you don't need him?
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day too. Like, me and my old lady got into it, and I remember when we used to get into it last year, and it's like nothing like that now. And there was like one day that was off, like last year.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, holy shit! Like, I need to have the gratitude like every day because I
Yeah,
remember when
yeah,
we were in the shit, and I would be like praying for it to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had one bad day. I'm like, oh my god, my life was like so different a year ago.
Yeah. Right.
And like now it's fucking amazing. And like
Mm-hmm.
I need to recognize that.
For sure. For sure. And yeah, where do you think that came from?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your prayers will always be answered, man. And that's another thing is since we are since everything is mental, we like to paint pictures of how it should be, right? And your vision, your definite chief aim, arguments with your girl, right? Like when you made those prayers or you spoke to God about it, like it might not happen in the way that you think it's going to happen or when it's going to happen or you just know it's going to happen.
Yeah, and that's super important. Speaking things over your life, like you said earlier, I am gonna be a millionaire. I am gonna have this house.
I am a millionaire.
Cause I mean I believe our speech or voice has power, you know.
Everything we put our attention to.
Same with thoughts.
Thoughts are probably the biggest.
And I remember watching The Secret or something saying like how your positive thoughts are at a such higher frequency than your negative
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that too, like you can, if you get caught in the stinking thing, and you can end up manifesting death, fucking bad shit happening, fucking
Yeah. Yes.
whatever. And like
Yes.
I've seen that happen on both sides of the spectrum
Mm-hmm.
in my life before.
Yeah. Same. I even think of if we go back to an argument, right? If someone comes at you yelling or in a high vibration in a negative way and you match it, that's going to keep going,
Yeah.
right? If someone comes at you yelling in a high vibration and you're calm, it's only going to last not much longer for them most of the time, right? Something needs to diffuse that vibration.
Yeah, and that circles back to like what you're talking about before with or suffering. The root of suffering is attachment, and like getting back to in a definite chief aim, and like staying in flow, which is something we haven't talked about yet.
Mm-hmm.
But like that is also super important too, because
Yes, yes.
people are gonna come up on you fucking red hot,
Yeah.
and you gotta like react in a good manner and not
Yeah.
fucking retaliate.
I've honestly that man, if I look back 5 years ago, holy crap. Because I've prayed on that many times. Not that I was a hothead, but like my reactions, the way I responded was 90% of the time not good.
Yeah, and then negativity just breeds more
Yep. Yeah,
negativity.
yeah.
That's like when I have a negative thought, I try to catch it right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I tell people like thoughts are coming in and out all day, and like you have the choice whether to log into those thoughts, like Instagram or Facebook, and how far you want to go down that rabbit
Mm-hmm.
hole.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, I just keep thinking about this one quote: "Is fear is classed as stealing? Like you're literally
Yeah.
stealing
I love that.
from yourself and the universe when you're thinking like that, because really like maybe your subconscious mind is doing it, but if you like break it down a little more, it's like a conscious thought. And like the way
Mm-hmm.
that I worked on that is just meditating too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like before, when I was meditating and praying, I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing, you know.
And that's okay. I made a short today on meditation. Because when I first learned about meditation, I thought it like had to be a certain way, right? Like perfect, like no thoughts going out, right? Like, and there are meditations that are somewhat can be like that, um, like controlling your thoughts. But I think meditation to me can just be having that ease, that flow, right? That's for me at least.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
do more visualization meditation than anything, but in the past I've done so much just focusing on my breath, bring it back to the breath, right? Like if I have all these crazy thoughts and then I think of my breath, but like that's me being centered and being able to, have the flow and control myself.
Yeah, and then you can literally like control how your day goes
Yeah,
and
yeah,
how
yep.
your definite chief aim will play out.
Mm-hmm. Because
So
yeah, there are, dude, all throughout your day, all throughout life, you're gonna have, like you said, the bumps in the road, dude. Like the things that are unexpected, or
that I'm truly grateful for now. Like it wasn't even like a bad thing.
yeah,
Like thinking back, it just in the moment, I
mm-hmm.
thought it was.
Yeah,
When
for
really
sure,
it's an opportunity for something
for
else.
sure, dude, for sure.
Anyone's story, you could go back on that. We could dissect ours right now,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
All right, guys. Well, we thank you for tuning in. We're gonna be more consistent with the definite chief aim of this as well. I'm
I,
working on getting some merchandise going too. Got some business cards going. We appreciate you guys' support. Anything else you want to add?
adios.
Later.